As a pastor, it was always a challenge for individuals to come for a burial of a loved one and not know what to do. And they're Presbyterian, but didn't know what to do with some of the great work that they had done. And these were, I'm thinking of St. James Presbyterian Church, a congregation in particular, where there were a lot of accomplished people there. But there were a couple of things. One was the lack of trust in turning in archives of their loved ones and not knowing where it was going to end up or if it was going to end up somewhere that anyone else could see. And I think the other part had to do with the fact that some individuals just didn't know. Mom died, they had to get back to work. They had stuff in a garbage bag that they threw out to the front of the yard, and that was the end of it. They did not know that there was a historical society. They did not know because it wasn't accessible to them. It wasn't in any way collected. And I know that even right now, in our efforts to collect certain pieces in this particular time of history, that there are so many accomplished Presbyterians of color and others who have struggled to make the church right but never really understood or were never actually offered the opportunity to come and to have their archives there, and they did not know that it even existed. It was when I came to this office, it was interesting. I did not come directly to Louisville, and that's something that I didn't tell a lot of people, but as I began the process, I'd never been to the Historical Society, and that was one of the first places that I came. I actually went down to Louisiana. There was a shooting that took place of African American and male, and police shooting that took place, and I decided to make that my first stop. And the second one was to come to the Historical Society, and I was blown totally out of the water in having an opportunity to see both what was collected, but also what the greater potential could be in collecting a much broader audience. Individuals who were in the congregation that I served, St. James Presbyterian Church, who had an opportunity. I mean, they had accomplished people all over the place, but you never hear them outside of the chronicles of an African American magazine or something that came out of a periodical of the place where they served and they worked. So I think those were the kinds of things. Individuals who were in rural areas who did a lot of work, and actually for the United States government, but never, they were Presbyterian and they were never placed into it, and not even thought about it, didn't know it was there. So I think these are the challenges when we talk about history and the life of the church and what it is. How do we open ourselves, not just to the history that's inflamed on the front page of a paper because we've done something wrong, but the countless numbers of people who have been accomplished in the life of the church and who have legacies that need to be heard, but have historically been left out because they were not necessarily in that circle.